many people have acclimatized to working from home for the past few months, your pets have also gotten used to the new normal. With people starting to head back into the office, the sudden change can be stressful for your furry friends. Catherine McMillan with the Winnipeg Humane Society is here now to chat all about how to help your pets with the transition. So let's just jump right in. What are some things that people should be aware of when they start working out of the house again?
Sure. Well, pets, cats and dogs are both very in tune to their environment, and they're also quite sensitive to change. So they really like predictability and routine. So when we suddenly go back to work, that routine that they were formerly used to is no longer there for them. And it can actually cause some anxiety and distress with them. So the first thing you should do is when you're introducing your dog to being left alone, don't leave them alone suddenly. It's really important that you introduce them to that absence gradually. So you start off by leaving the home for 2 minutes, and you would introduce any triggers that may cause some distress. So things like picking up your lunch kit, putting on your jacket, putting on your shoes, picking up your car keys. These are all signals that you're about to leave and can actually trigger that anxiety before you leave. So as you're practicing, you want to make sure that you add those triggers into the routine. And so you leave for 2 minutes and then you return. And each time you gradually increase the amount of time that you're gone. The other thing you can do is provide your dogs with things during the day to occupy them, like Molly here has her Kong. Feeding your dogs while you're gone and creating that mental enrichment. It drains the mental energy, plus it gives them something to do other than worrying about whether or not you're going to return. The other thing I recommend is that you don't create too much fuss when you leave or when you return, because that, again, can increase excitement and arousal. And unfortunately, as you leave and you say, goodbye, puppy, and you create that excitement, as soon as that door closes, that excitement can actually turn into stress because that has to go somewhere. And more often than not, that can result in destructive behavior.
What are some kind of the symptoms that might start being exhibited if your cats or dogs are starting to get stressed out?
Well, signs of anxiety in dogs can be pacing a lot, very unsettled or you're gone. The other thing could be that they're drooling, that they may not eat their food. Some dogs don't necessarily show outward signs of anxiety, but if they typically like their food and they're not eating during the day while you're gone and suddenly devour their food as soon as you return home, that is a sign that they are a little bit concerned that you're gone. Other signs of anxiety and stress can be destruction of the home, attempting to escape the home, trying to in search of their owner, or they feel perhaps too confined in the home. Things like self-mutilation can happen to dogs that are just like people chew their nails. Some dogs can actually start chewing on their paws and their tail and so on, which is an obvious sign of distress.
So you mentioned one, don't get them all excited as you're leaving. What are kind of some other common mistakes that people make that really don't help?
Well, don't punish your dog when you return. Your dog, if there is destruction, elimination problems, perhaps, it's the fact that it's a signal that your dog is having a hard time. They're not giving you a hard time. They're having a hard time with the transition. Punishment is only going to cause more anxiety because they're going to anticipate you coming home and potentially being punished for a behavior that they really cannot help. And so it's really important they don't punish. The other thing you don't want to do is put your dog in a crate without first introducing them to a crate or a safe room, perhaps, because, again, that can cause what we call confinement anxiety, and it can cause some distress, and the dog may chew their way out of the kennel or the room. So if your dog really truly is having a hard time with the transition, please seek advice from a professional. The behavior staff at the Winnipeg Humane Society or your veterinarian can offer some assistance in terms of medicinal help. It may just be that your dog needs some extra support.